Okay. Let's start growing Grandpa. Until I get to the new notes, I'm not gonna read the old ones because, as I said, I already went through it on Tuesday. Turn that down a little bit. Yeah, it seems fine. All right, start. Start a new game will delete your saved progress start anyway. Yes, because I think I saved on the last week, and you can feed Grandpa. If you feed him something really gross, he doesn't like it and he throws up. You need him to throw up to get certain items to keep going, and I did start feeding him bad food until it was too late. And I think that's the issue. I didn't get all the items I would have needed. I would not like to be the tutorial. When I think of tutorial, I think like, you know, it'll give me a real like example and not just it explains to you. So I know how to play with this. I excused Adrian during music class today and spoke with her about her recent string of demerits. It was her first time meeting outside of our quarterly evaluations. I believe it went well. I can certainly understand Mrs. Richardson's classroom observations concerning Adrian's emotional state. I will read the story parts, just as I said, not the notes, because it's all very important. She was, of course, intensely shy when we first met. As I understand it, she is similarly withdrawn in her classroom activities and only speaks or acts when she absolutely must. Some things she simply will not do. Instead of participating in mandatory group activities, she will sit alone and accept that she will receive a demerit. Before the meeting, I read Mrs. Richardson's parent-teacher report, which allowed me to estimate some about Adrian's home life. The parents are well educated and come from a prestigious background, but they lack time to properly nurture Adrian. She is often alone, and when she is not, the parents seem to not understand the importance of warmth and affirmation when dealing with someone so young. Having two parents of this reserved and icy temperament exacts an inhibition in a child. The child's imagination is subdued, but only ostensibly, for it eventually finds its way into regular life. I surmised that I would be able to reach out to Adrian by way of make-believe. I forgot how creepy Adrian looked. This isn't a farming sim. No, it's about... It's about a nice conversation between Adrian and her grandpa, and I learned from grandpa, and grandpa learns from me. And we grow as people together. But grandpa's the main star. Oh my god. How are you liking your new house? You told me you used to live close by, but can be a big adjustment, a new room, a new school. The basement, I like that. If you do it, I'd have to time you out for a little bit. The basement? Yeah, well, there's a lot of cool stuff. Mom and Dad sent me down there. Your mom and dad made you go? Yeah, but there's lots of cool stuff. Well, it's not why they sent me down there, though. Why'd they send you down there? I forgot why they sent her down there. Fighting. They were shouting. I came in to help and they shouted at me. They said, go clean up downstairs, so I went. I forgot why, but I was like, it was for no good reason. I'm just gonna be a mother chest, not so lucky. I'm the chosen one. Speaking of scared, well, not scared, but I thought you'd find this funny. So, my notification tones that I've had, my first one, I forgot what it was, but it caused Loki to go off. My second one was like the Persona menu sound from Persona 4. And at first it was fine, and then started saying Loki off. It was too high-pitched. So I was like, I need to find a new one. I can't have the dog going off every single time my phone goes off. That's really fucking annoying, and Loki's really loud. So, went to Zedge. Decided to look up notification sound, see what there was. I found R2-D2. The R2-D2 sound. Doesn't set him off. He's fine. He gets curious, and he cocks his head every time it goes off. But he fucking loves R2-D2. I don't think it's a scream. It sounds kind of like a trill at the end. He beeps a few times, and hold on, let me see if I can find it. Yeah, the talking. Yep, I know my Star War. R2D2 sound. The scream's the major one. That's not it. Stop playing. I'm trying to find it. If I look up, like, just notification sounds and R2D2, it comes up, and now none of these are it. That one. It's short. You know, even though I'm not into Star Wars, I do love the robots. But yes, that's the sound I use for R2D2, or for my phone. So yeah, Loki doesn't freak out for now. I'm hoping it doesn't change. I'm hoping R2D2 is very calming for him. It's calming for me. But yes, I thought I would tell you that R2D2 is my new notification sound because it seems to be the only thing that doesn't set Loki off. That sounds tough. Do they fight a lot? No, well, her parents suck. Send her to a big scary basement. It's alright, Adrian. Maybe you could tell me more about the basement instead. Okay, well, it was weird at first, the stuff down there, but cool. I found something living, sort of. That's very interesting, Adrian. Tell me more. By indulging her in her fantasies and stories, I was able to glean more of an understanding of Adrian's anxiety surrounding her home and parents. The symbols of Adrian's story seem to carry their own traumatic weight, and her exploration of the basement may very well be a vehicle for the conveyance of her anxiety. Whatever might come of our next meeting, whether she will engage in similar make-believe, I will set down her story here. Adrian's story begins with her delving into the basement with a trash receptacle and the goal of cleaning up. She discovered one of the walls was covered in plastic bags. She went to investigate, intent on tearing away whatever they covered. Alright. It's like a cleaning up sim. Upon removing the plastic trash bag from the wall, she noticed the interior lining was covered in glass. Like a window, I offered. No, she said, like a mirror. Reflecting inward towards the animal they covered. I gently asked her what exactly this animal was. Here's where the material reality of the story took a turn for the explicitly fantastic and imaginary. Upon her discovery of it, at her gaze, it grew, or extended, its shaggy-haired self. Hair like the fur of a dog, I offered. No, she said. Not the fur of a dog, nor the hair on her head. It grew out towards her, the animal's hair reaching out. It was hard, standing almost straight, like the hair on a brush. A bristle, I offered. Yes, she said. She was very afraid at first, but then very curious. I asked her what else was in the room. More things hidden away, she said. Things of Grandpa's as well. First, she found a hidden passage under the stairs. Inside were strange dolls, magic objects, naked, faceless figures. I heard these cryptic utterances and merely nodded. In order to keep the game of make-believe going, I only pressed for details where I thought necessary. The faceless dolls could be a simple metaphor for the anonymity she feels in her own home. The hidden passage, I'm unsure of what to make of that. The revealing of the concealed seems to be thematic in her fantasy. The door under the stairs is but one example. Alright, if we go this way, it's like too dark. I hope Grandpa throws up a light bulb at some point. Alright, I need to grab these things that kinda match. Once she removed the panel and found the magical hidden passage, she was very specific about what she took. She found a magic book, a magic doll, a photo of her late grandpa, and magic glue. A slashing doll, its material is rough and coarse. I think my only complaint, it's very small, about this game is I can't take screenshots. Or I could like take them the normal way you do on a computer, but because I'm streaming, it takes too long to capture it, go into Paint, paste it, save it, and then so on. So, no pictures. Alright, let's just read through. Because there is an achievement to get all of the notes. And there's probably more in that area that's dark that I need a light for. It's Grandpa! It's Mr. PhD. I interrupted to ask what she did with these magical, mysterious materials. Glue. Very magical. Grow Grandpa, she explained plainly, and then without missing a beat, she continued on with her story. Feeling this was a potent symbol, I stopped her again to ask what she meant. That's what it means now. Pretty happening, Dad. Somewhat puzzled, I did not understand immediately, she explained slowly. Grandpa lives in the cage in the other room. The cage behind the door. They grow people in the cage. Go visit Grandpa. Still can't do anything with a trash pile. Yeah, you heard her. We're gonna go visit Grandpa. It's stuff like don't feed meat or anything, but we're gonna feed it meat. Hey, Jasira, we are back at it. I want to see if I can get the other ending. What are your questions? I have answers because I did play this, but I didn't feed Grandpa enough meat. I made a lot of mistakes. Oh, beyond the door, something, 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 something. I kind of skipped it. A hidden cage lined with mirrors. It is strange, almost poetic. The elaborate fantasy of self-reflection, concealment, captivity. Why is Grandpa in a cage? Is he too small to control? He's an experiment. Because he's a pretty happening dad, and Adrian's dad, he's very jealous. So Grandpa's in a cage. The cage. Or at the cage, finally cast her spell. But it was confusing, she confided. At first. She took the magic doll, the magic glue, and the photo of her grandpa. Grandpa, if you're too cool, we're gonna have to cage ya. And she combined them, and she wished very hard. I can only assume this fantasy that next her wish would come true. In what child's story would it not? I love this picture of Grandpa. A tangible symbol of intention and desire. It's a fucking doll with a picture of Grandpa. She put Grandpa in the cage, assuming that was part of the ritual. She was not clear on how it worked. She's like 8. Do 8-year-olds know what ritual? Do normal 8-year-olds know what rituals are? What precise instructions she could glean from her grandfather's magic book was complicated by her reading comprehension. This is where it starts to get tricky, where it's weird what she knows and what she doesn't, like, know about. She with she wished with all her heart, and then she told me she waited a while for something, anything to happen, and after that time she began to cry. Like, it's weird, or it's not weird. It's normal for some people, but like her parents like don't love her, right? Practically. So they wouldn't have read to her. They wouldn't have spent time with her. So can she even read is the thing. Like, I'm sure they got her to the stages she needed to even get into school, because I know that when it comes to school, if you're, I think, but I'm pretty sure you like have to hit certain milestones before they'll even like let you in. So if they didn't love her, what was she getting into that she knows what rituals are? I was a weird kid. I think at like 7 or 8 or maybe even 9, I don't think I knew what rituals were. I don't know because I'm not that age, but I can only glean. Anyway, Adrian's crying. I cried really hard, she said. I wanted Grandpa to be back. I wanted my parents to stop being so mean. That made me wonder too. We find out later that he got into a car accident. So, did she know him at all? Or was it just like she heard good stories about Grandpa and she knows he's dead and she just wants him alive to have a loving, supportive figure? And it hurt me. It hurt me wish for Grandpa to come back for my parents to be different. I could feel through the walls and it felt me through the air. I asked her what exactly she meant. She could only repeat what she said. By this time, lunch was almost over. I said goodbye to Adrian and she left to rejoin her class. I was left to consider a conversation. I believe the storytelling strategy I've employed is not unfruitful, but I must probe deeper if I can. Although I can be sure of nothing I interpret, the impressions I get may begin to help me get an idea of the right questions to ask. Knowledge you acquired this week has given you access to certain topics or keywords you can discuss with Grandpa, wish. You've also gained the following keyword, shell. Alright. I don't think I talk to Grandpa about all this every week, but we're gonna be able to start giving him meat. Hopefully. I met again with Adrian in order to address her emotional outbursts in the past few weeks. It's our second time meeting, and while it is standard practice to have multiple sessions with a troubled student, as I assemble a report for the counseling department, I cannot help but think, as we sat down in my office, that Adrian already seemed to show a remarkable change in self-esteem and confidence, and perhaps mine, Mrs. Richardson's estimation of her as emotionally disturbed was erroneous. The paralyzing shyness and withdrawn attitude Adrian possessed last week was not entirely diminished, but she seemed to hold herself differently this week. However, this only lasted as long as our conversation pertained to initial introductory pleasantries. When I began once again asking her about her parents, her feelings regarding her new school and her new home, she quickly lost what new confidence she had gathered up and withdrew again within herself. So once again, I partook in some collaborative make-believe, but this time I was aided by the fact that I had managed to do some research into Adrian's grandfather, and I had some insight into what she might actually be finding in the basement. Now, this may be overstepping my bounds, some as a school counseling caseworker, but this was all in the service of making Adrian comfortable and happy in this learning environment. In any case, I was able to dig up information regarding the grandfather by inquiring at the university in town. Not that I make it a habit of sleuthing, but I had a suspicion the grandfather was a professor there, or at least some sort of researcher, due to the fact that the newly constructed laboratory on the campus I drive by every day bears his name in memorial. How does he know his grandpa's name? We know he's Dr. H. Did it say his name? I don't remember. Whatever. He was some sort of anthropologist or linguist or neuroscientist. I did not have to dig that deep before the scope of his work became dizzying, and I ran up against the limits of my undergraduate education, but back to the make-believe. It doesn't seem like he dove very hard. As an undergrad, like I knew resources so I can like look for research papers and stuff, right? Peer-reviewed articles, that kind of thing. It doesn't sound like he looked that much into it. Like he did just the basics. What's your grandpa like? Is he a smart man? Not anymore, but I'm teaching him. So he's grown a good deal then. You've been feeding him well? Yeah, he's getting bigger, but he has a lot of room in his cage. He's still behind the bars. Yeah, well, he may be able to climb out eventually. There's this vent in the ceiling. Perhaps if he climbs out, I can meet him someday. Yeah, maybe, but he's not ready to leave. He can't take care of himself. I have to feed him, pick up after him. You store the food in your lunchbox? That's nice of you to share. You can almost talk. You can't speak with him? He doesn't have a mouth, sort of. How do you feed him? He has a mouth on the outside, on his shell, or the stuff that is his skin. I'm a little confused. Maybe you can go through a typical day with your grandpa? Okay. I asked her to explain how exactly she goes about growing her grandpa, and Adrian began another tale. According to Adrian, in the week that had passed, much had changed in the basement. The hairy thing that was here before is gone. Alright, you gotta go visit Grandpa so they can introduce more of the gameplay. Grandpa, wake up! It was scary at first, she said. The way he moved, the way the doll's skin covered him. I wanted to interject. This somehow seemed inappropriate, but I kept listening. When I look at him, she continued, when I think about him, he grows and moves. It's like he's growing for me. He's growing bigger now, I asked. Yeah, she said. Bigger every day. It's my grampy. This begins the actual growing part of growing your grandpa. Beneath the doll's burlap skin, the follicles knit together what resembles a proper person, your grandpa. You are in charge of its cognitive development and diet until it is able to sustain itself. Currently, you're observing Grandpa. Please click the arrow back button below for a brief tutorial of your duties as a caretaker. Okay. We can see a variety of options regarding growing your grandpa. Highlighted in red are objectives, blah, blah, blah. Feed and take care of Grandpa, make him happy. Grandpa hates bad food. You can teach Grandpa to talk. There's other stuff. You can go to Grandpa and you can, like, feed him and shit. There's the study corner. There's things over there, too. There's the kitchen, so you can make him some food. The help button replaces the tutorial. You can save the game, and then you can leave the game. Alright, more buttons may or may not appear. Depending on your development of Grandpa, so watch out for them. Take care to explore the basement at your leisure. However, due to the entropic nature of clutter and trash, different weeks may allow you to find things you had not previously discovered. So, keep looking. We're gonna save at the beginning. Let's go to the study corner and search the cabinets. Alright, Grandpa will definitely like the cashews, but we don't care what Grandpa likes right now. Right now we want to feed him shit so that... That looks like vomit. Alright, so we can teach Grandpa his name. I wonder if... Because now I have an idea of what to do, I can learn about, Grandma. Because in my playthrough, I didn't learn about her, but I also got... I'll be real, with the type of game it is, I don't think any of them are good endings. So I'd say the, like, maybe not as bad ending. You remove the tape down fabric to reveal the cabinet's wooden bottom. Yep, this is how to... Alright, biohazard bin. That's not what I want to do. We examine the educational posters because there's a document there. And I don't know if it's a thing where you need to get all the documents in one playthrough. Or if it just keeps it between them. Alright, so now we can go. The bulbous growth, there's nothing I can do until I get some scissors from Grandpa. Alright, so the corroded battery. There's also, I believe... I don't know if it's week 2 when you get the insulation. Alright. Alright, this is still dark. I feel like in some ways I can just... Well, I still want to read the dialogue to at least give some idea of what's happening. But I feel like I can vaguely speedrun this. Maybe I should give Grandpa the nasty food right now so I can unlock... Because there's like a lock to the bottom drawer. Alright, there it is. I'll come back. Okay, simple paper doll is very important, even though I never got to use it last time because I didn't give Grandpa everything he needed. Please. Oh, I didn't examine this trash pile. Alright. Hey, Grim Reaper, how you doing? Would you like to help grow a grandpa today? Okay, so there are... Try giving it a fiberglass glass insulation. Alright, let's get into the kitchen. I don't know if it matters which one you do first is the thing. I'll save here now. And that might be the only save, just in case. Alright, Grandpa. I would not like to be the tutorial. I know how to feed Grandpa now. That, like, they explain it to you anyway. Alright, let's check out Grandpa's mess. Alright, it's always gonna be the key the first time. But the key is very important. Oh, please. Alright, tried the key. The recognition of this face kicks off a cascade of emotion immediately deep within your psyche. Okay. So we got that, but there's nothing we can do with it right now. Because you can, like, try and give it to Grandpa, but he never wants it. Did we definitely check the whole fridge? I just want to make sure. I think you can only ever make Grandpa vomit one time per week. Yeah, okay. that's it. Alright, and then we could teach him to speak. Yes, teach Grandpa. I would not like the tutorial. Because the thing is, the tutorial, it kind of makes sense, but I really wish the tutorials gave you more of like, you know, throw you into the situation. He deserves a standing ovation. Grandpa did it. Yep. Grandpa. Although, I will say the one thing that's annoying is when you're done doing something with Grandpa, they just bring you all the way back here. It's not a big deal. I can just go back to Grandpa. It's fine. But, like, let me teach Grandpa again. Oops. No, teach Grandpa. That did not quite sound like hello, but I'm still proud of him. Okay. Let's go to Grandpa. Let's observe Grandpa. Alright, he's content and willing to cooperate. Let's talk to Grandpa. The inner Grandpa, though still not fully formed, is revealed. It may be fruitful to speak with it if it can respond. With a great deal of effort, Grandpa gurgles fragmented thoughts through its ill-formed lips. Will father. New lives out of the air. The dark spiny filaments that make up the majority of Grandpa's body begin to oscillate rapidly. The air behind your eyes, I can taste it. Skin, my body. All human skin around me. Give more. Grandpa wants skin. Grow more to fit. Alright, we gotta give him... We gotta start giving him flesh. We gotta start feeding him real bad shit. However, it fails to produce more than a wet and frustrated sputtering noise. Poor Grandpa. He's doing his best. Goodbye. Alright, that's all I can do week 1. Starting next week, I gotta start feeding him shitty food to give him better stuff so I can get scissors and start stabbing things. Not Grandpa, though. Grandpa will never be stabbed. Do you want the mother doll? He still does not. I think he needs more meat. Alright, we're gonna end the week. I don't believe there's anything left to do. Alright, that's the food I acquired. I got documents and stuff. Knowledge I acquired this week. Alright, so language. And that's it. That's all I can do to talk to Grandpa. Mrs. Richards approach. Wasn't her name Richardson? It doesn't matter. Mrs. Richards approached me the other day in order to remark on Adrian's development. She noted how much more at ease she appeared when called upon in class or when asked to participate in group exercises. I told her I had seen this change happening as well, and as much as I would like to take credit for it, I can only guess dimly at what might be reshaping her attitude. It's Grandpa. Grandpa's back. She loves her Grandpa. She loves hanging out with Grandpa. She loves talking to Grandpa. She loves putting food in Grandpa's maw. Grandpa is shaping her up, and she's shaping him up. They're learning and growing together. Grandpa. Mrs. Richards posited that it was perhaps Adrian's family moving into their grandfather's property that caused the change. It apparently is out of the country, in a wooded area full of wide open space and far from the bustle and noise of the city. The grandfather, Dr. Jacob Hart, had jointly purchased the land with the university he was employed with and began constructing what he was intending to be a satellite campus for a burgeoning psychological anthropology program he had a hand in establishing. Only one building ever ended up being constructed after Dr. Hart died in a car accident when driving back from the property one day. Yeah, I have a sneaking suspicion that this experiment, because they start calling it Whiskers due to the bristles, right? And that's the part that I've been skipping. Here's Whiskers. Whiskers is growing. We're feeding Whiskers. Don't give Whiskers meat. Blah, 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 blah. I think Whiskers took over Grandpa, and Grandpa lost control of the car, and that's how he died. That's my theory. We'll see. Eerily, at almost the exact same time, a grad student who was assisting Dr. Hart on some sort of project at the property vanished without a trace. The property sat in disuse for years, as it was tied up in legal battles between Dr. Hart's next of kin, the university, the vanished grad student's family, and the other students Dr. Hart was working with. I still don't understand why, like, the grad student's family should have it, or why even the other students should have it. Again, it doesn't matter. I think I don't understand. Only recently, or eventually the case was settled out of court. Only recently did the property fall into possession of Adrian's mother. Obviously, I was not going to relay this whole tragic story to Adrian, who for all I know believes her grandpa to still be living in the basement of his home. Besides, I thought she might already know of all this. Perhaps the elaborate story she was constructing was her own way of escaping the morbid details of a life, or perhaps lives, cut short by the cruel force of fate and the cynical adults who squabbled in the aftermath. Again, she's like 8 or 9. She's a school kid. No one's gonna tell her all this. There's no reason she would have all this information readily available. That's why I really don't like how he seems to be projecting at her. Like, at that age, I think kids know about death, right? You know, you gotta teach your kids eventually. But there's absolutely no reason to give her all the details. It's like above her childish pay grade. I determined perhaps the storytelling she was and continues to engage in should not be encouraged by me, at least not in the way I went about it before, where I made active inquiries into her strange fantasy of a semi-sentient ball of skin. When I saw Adrian, I did not bring up her grandpa or ask questions about his growth. Adrian could not stop talking about it, however. I had no choice but to weather her bizarre and enthusiastic effusions about her new best friend. Adrian, maybe we can talk about something else. I'm not sure I'm following you exactly. He's gotten so big, he has so many whiskers that come out, and I can see them move around when I think about him. I'm not sure what you mean. I'm so happy Grandpa's back. He's so much cooler than Mom and Dad. Once again, for what it's worth, I've put down the story she told me as best as I could. Adrian once again told me about growing her grandpa. Alright, I believe you can hide the insulation in the kiwi. There has to be something somewhere. You know, it doesn't matter. I think I got everything. Because that's the message I'm used to. Oh, it'll be clean until next week. Like, maybe Grandpa's leaving this mess. I know I keep asking, like, how does the mess keep going if I clean it up every week? What's Grandpa for sure? Alright, indecision. Sounds like a lot for Grandpa to be learning. But what do I know? Alright, let's feed Grandpa the gross-ass shit. Alright, we got the pear. We got the strawberry. Alright, and then we gotta make Grandpa throw up. Alright, Grandpa. Grandpa's real sad. Alright, he still doesn't want the doll. That's fine. Alright, in the oily cavity, a powerful smell of rot rises, and many small increate beings lay motionless and dead. However, you just barely hear the near-scient slithering of something, or maybe it's just your imagination. Don't you just love the squish? So do I. Alright, where's the thing that I'm supposed to get? Oh my god, okay, found it. A self-sufficient animal form knit together from years of ambient thoughts left to crawl around the basement. Grandpa may enjoy the flesh. It really is, isn't it? It's very therapeutic. Little friends. Okay, we gotta go back and feed Grandpa. I think that's the only bulbous growth there is. I think as the weeks continue, you get more. But, you know, obviously I did it wrong the first time. Alright, let's feed Grandpa. It's Cilia waves in frenzy. Your offering of flesh stirs something within Grandpa. From within the folds of its body, a wiry proboscis-like appendage begins to emerge. Maybe we'll take a look at this after the feeding. It's given access to a new conversation topic to discuss with Grandpa. Alright. Grandpa grunts in appreciation. Thank you, Grandpa. Would you like the doll? Let's examine. You motion to Grandpa to approach and point to the thin protuberance. Grandpa silently ambles closer to the bars and fully extends it towards you. Oh, it's like a little wave. A minuscule needle extends from its tip. There appears to be one more thing you must give, if only for the sake of propriety. Ugh. I don't know what I'm supposed to give it. Uh... Can I go to Grandpa and offer the doll? Alright, what's the little guide say? Okay, that doesn't help at all. I'll be real. What am I supposed to give it? Oh! I tried that! Grandpa has appreciated your blood offering. It will receive a symbol or totem from you now, although only one per offering. As the blood-fed proboscis retracts back into the folds of fabric, you step away from the bars. Okay, thanks, Grandpa. You approach the bars and hold out the mother symbol you created. Grandpa's spines quickly reach out and envelop the doll before drawing back. The doll quickly vanishes within the folds of Grandpa's skin. Constructing and then offering your mother's image to Grandpa, symbolically sated by blood, instills in you a concrete sense of completion. Grandpa gives a soft, affirming grunt as it senses deep within your mind the ritual transformation of your desire. Although Grandpa must receive both a mother and father totem before the fulfillment of your wish is assured. Okay, Grandpa. Alright, what did that little guide I had say? Let's see. Foodstuff items. Soap, cashews, battery. Alright, how do you get the... Alright, so Grandpa will give me a flashlight, which is what I thought. I mean, as I said, it seems pretty straightforward, but I'm just double checking to make sure. Alright, so we can feed Grandpa, we can teach him to speak. You can have this kiwi. Alright, Grandpa's good. Oh, wait, did I not find the 4th card? Alright, I'll be back. Oh, you know what? I didn't go and I didn't get all the stuff from the study corner. I didn't clean those out. Although I can't see them appearing again. Alright, there's something I probably forgot to do. Did I do the trash pile? Not the painting. No, I did not. Alright, I found it. Alright, and did I go here? Wait, there's another bulbous growth here. Alright, we gotta get Grandpa's food. I think you can only feed him like one at a time. And the 3rd one comes up in the cabinet next week, so... Alright. Hey, Grandpa. Oh, that's okay. Grandpa appears content and ready to cooperate, but we gotta teach Grandpa first. We gotta teach him indecision, which takes a while because it's a big word. I have to say, I do like teaching Grandpa the words, but it's just, it's not an enjoyable little mini game. I do it because I have to. Okay. Alright, let's go to Grandpa and I did not mean to observe Grandpa. Let's talk about everything with Grandpa. Grandpa's looking good. Let's ask about the wish again. Grandpa still struggles somewhat to speak due to his underdeveloped tongue, mouth, and jaw. However, it manages to rasp out an answer. Hunger is not enough. On the walls of the cave, the aura can be hunger transformed, desires fulfilled by pain. Your grandpa doesn't have the right words. Right now, I can only say I love you. Love is not enough, though. Desire is not enough. Project it outwards. Make it true to yourself, if only in symbol. Then it will be enough. For me and you. Aw, Grandpa! Something to grow in. My skin is not the doll skin. My skin is not like your skin either. I can still feel your eyes on me inside. My shell, I have many eyes to see, but I don't need them as much as I need your eyes with which I can understand a seeing me. There is a cycle of attention. You give me myself, but I'm still not that. Slowly I form a human shape, and you see me more as human, and I become that. They kept putting me in a box, sleeping, and then set a light, and then in a corner, a box in the corner in the darkness. Most of you couldn't read then. The scribe came and wrote what everyone said. They wrote on strips of bark with thin reeds. No, it was not that. It was a paper posted somewhere. It had words to open the box. I was half dead in the box. Part of me that dies was put out there for a long time. That part of me and other things they threw in, a refuse pile, papers they discarded. Grandpa is old. My lives were easier before I made myself to speak and before he made clothes to wear and rules to obey. Your grandpa remembers. I have learned much in many lives and deaths. Keep speaking with me. I love talking with you and learning from you, and it helps your grandpa so much. Soon I will be everything you would like me to be. Oh my god. The little ones, they grew like seeds off my skin. Worms fall off my body. Thoughts falling off of me. Dreams put there by others. When I was under the ground, I met only very few. Shepherds walked through the grave, and I saw them lusting for their wives, and my skin made their loving faces. I called them out into the darkness with their loved voices. One by one, I took their shapes and their skin and blood. That was a time ago, before stone buildings, before the orders of angels and words and symbols. I'm sorry, Grandpa is thinking, but there's a little left over from others too. I'm still so hungry for flesh. Part of me is. I would even eat one of them that fell off of me. I can't help it. They grow off of me. They fall off and grow in the dark, grow around me. Yes, it is, apart like a tongue. I was lost in the mountains and so thirsty. I was walking up a hill and found a lamb and drank from it with my tongue, and I fell asleep for a long time. I woke up as a half-formed child. I had died before. My grieving mother had remade me. We had made a contract and she completed it. I do not remember more. Alright, bye, Grandpa. Can I give it? I don't think I can give him more flesh. Yeah, you can only do it once a week. Alright, I think I'm good for the week. I gave him the mom doll. I gave him my blood. Next week, I should be able to get the flashlight. And we'll find the last bulbous growth. Because I think it's next week, and then there's one more week after that. The time I have to spend compiling an evaluation on Adrian is almost up, and I still can't say what to make of her changes in mood. It is, of course, the case that children of Adrian's age are nowhere near finished learning and growing. I may have to simply be happy that Adrian was able to improve her attitude. However, something in the odd and occasionally grotesque stories she continues to bring up to me still strike me as meaningful. How has your week been, Adrian? Grandpa's almost ready. He's almost finished. Well, sort of. Ah. He's almost as big as his shell now. He has a face and he can talk pretty well and almost has legs. Am I wrong? Because I thought you had 4 weeks to hang out with Grandpa. This week, there's a next week, right? Or am I wrong? I thought there was a next week. Doesn't matter. I see. As before, I've put down the story she told me as best I could. Once again, Adrian told me about growing her grandpa. Okay. Oh, I didn't check the rest of the cabinet. Oops. Alrighty, we found food. I know at some point there's a bar of soap you can grab. I don't get the point of cleaning up this drawer because I think it's always empty. But, like, it's been a few days since I played, so I don't remember, and I don't want to take a risk. Alright, and the bottom drawer doesn't have anything. Alright, I already went into this one. I don't think I need to go in there again. Let's check this bulbous growth to see if anything comes by. If nothing does, then I'll just ignore the other bulbous growth. Alright, so nothing. Alright, here's the bar of soap. Alright, I'll clean. We can go into the kitchen. We can make something yummy for Grandpa. Alright. Hey, Grandpa. Let's observe Grandpa. Grandpa's looking good. Grandpa seems fatigued and almost anemic. Some of its spines appear brittle. Perhaps it'd be more cooperative if fed an iron-rich meal like meat. Alright, first of all, though, we need to give Grandpa the soap. Sorry, Grandpa. This is important. Nice. This may help you explore more of the basement. It will. See you, Gramps. I'll be back. I love you. Alright, bookshelf. A simple paper doll. This might be useful in the construction of magic symbols. A classic of alchemy. Alright, let's see. On the virtue of the prudent when dealing with devils, seen or unseen, the splendors and terrors of God's creations inhabit the world of both seen and unseen, and just as one will not grapple with a lion, lest they be a fool, one will not approach a being of the mind or aether without foreknowledge thereof. There are beings with no form, hiding between towering columns of air, and only appearing by slipping into the heart or mind of evil and unclean men. But still are there more beings which straddle the realm between these seen and unseen creatures, feeling through the air to see the heart or mind of men. It is only by God's grace and his angels and servants crushing these beings under heel that a magician might compel them to the magician's will, and so a magician must be perfectly clear and unerring in intent and ritual granted to us by God, or else the devils, seen or unseen, will devour them, that being their nature. On the nourishing of devils of a particular type, certain devils of a particular nature are nourished by the element of fire, others by attention and prayer given to their idols, still others by stranger and more obscure means. By God's grace, the requirement for nourishing a devil as part of a contract only requires a token of these givings, that is, a symbol. If a devil hungers after flesh and would strip a man to his bones in its devouring, the devil's hunger in nature, which thirsts for flesh, can be held in abeyance in the ritual act of giving blood in only a few drops. Hey, I did that. However, the contract must be completed in full, for if the magician errs and does not provide in the devil instruction and guidance, the devil, once abjured to do no harm upon the magician, will return to its devouring nature. Oh, Alright, I gotta go read the note. I'll be back. Alright, study corner. One of the notes says something about it. I don't think it was this one. Which one was it? Oh, termination procedure, I think. Three two three two four five. I was close. 323245. Oh, I think I accidentally hit the 6 instead of 5. The lid unlocked. With some effort, you move the heavy lid off the bin. Photo of your father as a young man. That's not a young man. The recognition of this face kicks off a cascade of emotion and meaning deep within your psyche. I feel like there should be more notes somewhere, because I haven't gotten the achievement for grabbing them all. Oh, I wonder if I have to read the things. At the medical imaging device. Huh. Alright, what's the my grandpa walkthrough say? Coordination of hidden beings. Oh, maybe the dad doll when I make it. It seems to be the only one. All right. All right. That was it. Okay. Did I get the... I think I got Grandpa's... everything. Okay, let's go to Grandpa. Make sure Grandpa eats well. Meals appears to have been particularly well received. Your offering of flesh stirs something within Grandpa. From within the fold of its body, a wiry proboscis-like appendage emerges. All right, let's go. Let's go look at Grandpa's weird appendage. All right, we have to grab it again. I apparently didn't grab in the right place, but I figured it out. Don't worry. Grandpa has appreciated your blood offering. It will receive a symbol or totem from you now, although only one per offering. As the blood-fed proboscis retreats back into the folds of fabric, you step away from the bars. All right, let's go to Grandpa. We're gonna offer him the dad doll. You approach the bars and hold out the father symbol you created. Grandpa's spines quickly reach out and envelop the doll before drawing back. The doll quickly vanishes within the folds of Grandpa's skin. Constructing and then offering your father's image to Grandpa, symbolically sated by blood, instills in you a concrete sense of completion. Grandpa gives you a soft, affirming grunt as it senses deep within your mind the ritual transformation of your desire. Although Grandpa must receive both the mother and father totem before the fulfillment of your wish is assured. Knowledge you recently acquired has given you access to a new conversation topic to discuss with Grandpa. Completed contract. All right, we're on the right track to the other ending. All right, Grandpa. Would you like some more meat? The meal appears to have been particularly well received. Your offering of flesh stirs with something within Grandpa. Can I give him more blood? All right, hold on. We'll give him a strawberry, and then we'll touch it again. We'll give him even more blood. And then the contract shall be complete. Okay. We're fine. Alright, we can teach Grandpa. We're good. I'm very excited because that ending we had Tuesday was like horrifying enough. But it like it was only a little taste because we hadn't completed the contract. Again! Yeah, stop taking me back. Symbolism. But like like, the thing is, and I guess what I like about the fact that you technically got the not as good ending, I feel like your questions are still mainly answered, like, you didn't get everything, but, like, in some games, if you don't get the good ending, you feel like you've missed out on a lot. I like that, and I don't mind. I know sometimes good endings answer games, but, like, I hate when you feel like you're left out in the cold because you didn't do something right, you know? You find out more, but I don't mind going back to go for the other ending. And it still gives you a good taste of, like, what could be as well, and I think that's why I don't mind coming back, playing again to answer my questions. Because this little game, I think it's $10 if it's not on sale, but again, I got it for, like, 2.25. So good. Alright, we're gonna talk to Grandpa. We have a lot of things to talk about. Alright, let's see. Grandpa appears content and ready to cooperate. It sounds so gushy. Alright, let's ask about the wish. Grandpa! Grandpa loudly clears his throat before gently responding in a lucid, well-projected voice. Ah, you're asking me about your wish. When you wished for me to come back, that's when I knew I would. Your desperation was strong, and your wish for your parents, well, if you give me what I want, I'll give you what you want. You know I love you. I'm for you. Whatever you want, and I love you just as much as you love me. But desperation and love is not enough. People deep down know they can't get what they wish for without some transformation. There is something that sits at the root of everyone's soul that understands the separation between them and eternity. You may desire something, but you know you will not get it without some movement on your part. So it is not enough to just wish, which you know will not work. You must wish and a little more to transform your intention into something that might fructify or for desire to become reality. Grandpa, I'm like an 8-year-old girl. I don't know what you're talking about. Let's ask about his shell. I think that's another thing. I wasn't talking to him every single time on the stuff I already talked about. Ah, you're asking me about my shell. You see, I like to have something to grow in, something shaped like a person. It just helps to have something surrounding me when I don't have skin. My whiskers do the growing. My whiskers? Yes, you know, the hairy little things. I'm part of it, and it is a part of me. However, my whiskers are what heard you wishing for me to come back, and so they went to work in the shell you provided. The shell also helps you envision me as what you desire. You have such nice imagination. If I weren't in my shell, you'd have my whiskers exposed and knitting together my face. That might interrupt the feedback loop of my reading your desires, and then acting upon the desires I have read, and then once again reading your reaction. We wouldn't want that interfered with. The material of the doll you put down is good fit. It's not the most comfortable, but it's quite flexible, and thankfully my shell was able to adjust nicely to my growth. Grandpa, I'm a little girl. Oh, so the researcher, or because I remember reading that, like, one of the researcher's daughters had given a picture of her boyfriend and he threw it in the bin. So my mom happily showed Grandpa the picture of her boyfriend, was like, holy shit, I love this man, here's a picture. He's like, fuck this asshole. I mean, I felt the same the other day, but like it's now I'm Adrian. It's my mom. How dare he? Ah, you're asking about the medical waste bin. I believe it's locked up. I heard them punch it in the code many times as they placed part of burnt up dying self into the bin. They actually forgot what the code was and had to go check on the wall where they were always taping up sheets upon sheets of information. So much so that the new papers would cover the old. What do you think you would find in there? Well, perhaps something. They did throw trash inside from time to time, bits of paper and so forth. I remember seeing a man who looked quite like me. His daughter had given him a photo of her new boyfriend. Oh, he's the one who tells you that. He threw it into the bin in disgust and joked with one of his colleagues. It may still be in there for all I know. Alright, we got... I still don't agree that's a picture of a young man, but whatever. Let's ask about language. You asked about language. Well, the more you taught me, the more I was able to learn myself by hearing what you were thinking and saying. A week ago, I could speak a little bit, but I was less of what you imagined me to be, and not quite the talker I am at the moment. Part of what I'm saying is, of course, made up of what you expect me to say. I think I'm very comfortable being open and honest with you because I am your grandpa and I love you, and certainly that makes up part of what I am. However, there is a part of me deeper down, the thing that created me maybe, that undying nucleus. It is answering for me as well and is unaffected by whoever might shape what I become with their thoughts. I cannot wait to see what his final form is now that we've given him all the food, mom and dad's paper dolls. They're probably gonna die. That's best friends. You asked me about my little friends? Well, yes, they come from me, they grow around me in pockets of flesh and protoplasm. Think of them like dreams, maybe. I'll explain. Have you ever had a dream that was sort of like a bunch of people, places, and events you experienced, all mixed up, together, and jumbled up? It's a sorting through and disposing of the refuse of the mind. My little friends are like that, refuse, and in ridding myself of them, I'm casting off the excess material I did not use in developing life forms. Hold on. Alright, I did put my closed captions on. I just couldn't remember and I want to make sure. Alrighty. Anyone who comes close to me, well, they're my eyes, my nose, my skin. Their thoughts become mine and shape what I make. However, when I was alone for so long, I didn't have a lot of people near me. What you are thinking and expecting of me is shaping what I'm saying, how I'm saying it. Do you understand? No, because I'm an 8-year-old girl. And so, because I did not have enough input from my surroundings in order to put the material to use, the material falls off my body, crawls away, and usually dies. I'm able to make the most of my material when someone is looking right at me, projecting who I will be, like you are now. What you are thinking and expecting of me is shaping what I'm saying. Okay. Let's ask about his proboscis. Oh, you're asking me about my proboscis? It is just a little tube I keep to help me feed on blood. You could say it is my real mouth, but it's not really a mouth. It appeared because you fed me flesh. One of those little friends you found, I think. You feeding me flesh was a symbol, a proposition, if you will, that you wanted to hold up your end of the bargain with regards to your wish. If someone's willing to hold up their end of the bargain and let me feed on them with my proboscis, then they can move on to the next step of the agreement, providing me with symbolic instructions. I hope that helps clear things up. Oh, you have another question? Do I like the blood? Well, my whiskers, I believe they like the blood and the flesh. It's strange. They are me, and yet they are now me. I don't know if that's supposed to be not me. I'm bound to them, they control me, and technically, yes, they did make me. However, you were the one who really grew me. In some ways, those whiskers, they are me, or a part of myself, or I'm part of it. That part is much more animal-like. Whatever might happen, know that I will always love you, and because it controls me, I may not be able to act how I would like to, even if I do love you. Oh, Grandpa. Let's ask about the contract. Thank you so much for completing the contract. I'll definitely help you out with your parents. Just give me a little time and I'll be ready to act. I think you'll be very happy. Your grandpa is very happy too. You did it all by yourself, you know. I couldn't have helped you if I tried. I would have really not have liked to. Well, I did not want you to not complete the contract. I would have hated that. But do you understand why I would have had to? Maybe you don't. So much of your lives are made up, and yet what comes to pass was always once a fiction. You doubt yourself and your plans before they're even begun, and you believe what is in front of you as if the essence of things was not something you put there long ago. Too much doubt can suffocate even the surest thing. Only with patience and growth and nurturing does something become what it will be, as you soon shall see. Grandpa, I didn't know back then. I just wanted the best for you. But you know what, Grandpa? We've completed our contract together. Let's see how this ends. I'm very excited. Because it's a thing where the game is so simple, but like I think that's why it's sick that it's so mucked up in a way. Because it is just a simple short story from beginning to end. Like, Grandpa talks a lot to say a little, but I think I understand what he's on about. Alright, let's end the week. He's accepting the totems. Let's kill Mom and Dad. I would like to end the week, yes. I met with Adrian one final time in order to see if I could not reach some type of resolution regarding her emotional trouble. In these past few weeks, according to the reports of her teachers and peers, she has shown a remarkable transformation in conduct. I'd also add my voice to this consensus. It seems as if in our time together, much has changed for the better. I'm not suggesting our meetings were the sole source for a sea change. I think something has happened in her home life that has reoriented Adrian completely. She seemed to suggest as much, at least in her usually esoteric way, when we last spoke. Something tells me something may have changed with Grandpa. Yeah, well, something did change. I will write down her words verbatim here. I went down the stairs like I always did, but I sort of felt like something was different. My parents weren't arguing, and I felt something had changed with Grandpa too. Alright, this is where things are different. There was a weird noise, but I wasn't afraid. Are those her parents? I think Grandpa had to leave, but before he left, he made my parents nice. He reached inside and changed them. That was my wish. Maybe even what I was growing wasn't really my grandpa. Grandpa left what I was growing behind. He is gone now. He moved quickly out to I don't know where, but I'll always love him. I dismissed Adrienne soon after, letting her know it was a pleasure getting to know her. Despite my apprehensiveness about the speed of the turnaround she has made, I cannot see any reason why Adrienne should be considered for further evaluation. And as a counselor for Adrienne, let it be known that I believe she is of sound mental and emotional health. I was pleased to see things turn out this way, and if I may make a brief appendum, by happenstance, Mrs. Richardson bumped into the Hart family the other day while running an errand. She told me the parents were a little odd, but very pleasant, and quite clearly they adored their child, and that she had never seen Adrienne happier. Oh. Alright, well, that was the good ending. She doesn't get taken over by Grandpa, and her parents get sucked up by Grandpa, and she's really nice. That was the less horrifying one, to be honest. But, like, I liked it. Adrian's fine now. Uh, good game. Good game. If you go through once, it's easy enough to go through again and fix it. And also, we got all the achievements. Yeah, got the fulfilled contract ending. I thought it would be way more mucked up, but a part of me is happy. It's just like, oh, her parents are nice now. What a good game. Good job. What was his name? Yames? Yames? Yeah, that was pretty good. That was pretty good. I don't know what he did to them. That's just the only thing, is that the way Grandpa was speaking, I don't know if, he created little versions of himself, like we glued the faces to the dolls, and then Grandpa became a flesh-eating whatever. I don't know if the parents became the same thing. I don't know if he, like, took over and killed her real parents and then remade her parents. I assume that's what happened. But we did it. We got both the endings. I enjoyed that game a lot. It wasn't even that long. As I said, second time way shorter because I didn't read through all of the stuff except for like the new notes I grabbed. But worth it. Body horror, yes. Wasn't so bad. And I feel loved by my grandpa. So let's get that out of the way because we're done with it forever. You know why? It is so short. I feel like as good a game it is, I can't see myself playing it really anytime soon. I 100% completed it, and I feel like it's the kind of game I probably won't be going back to it, but you know what? I don't need to. I had a good time. As still 10 out of 10. You know, 2 different endings, and it's thankfully one of those games where you don't have to play too much. And both endings felt meaningful because it felt right that clearly you get the bad ending because you didn't do stuff and you didn't give Grandpa things and you didn't feed him enough flesh. So let's